Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am hoping you can all see and hear me. I am early, by the way. Jim H Music, hello. Give me a shout if you can see and hear me. Give me a 5b5, might be the easiest way of doing it. I'll carry on setting up as I'm talking. Because what I want to do, I think that is the one I want up there. I'm not sure if it is. Let's see if this one's the one I want up there. It is the one I want up there. Turn that back off again. So I'll leave that on there for now, because I want everyone to come on there. We've got 33, 43 in total so far kicking in. I am early, by the way. I thought I'd surprise you and shock you all. So the positive news is I have not had any pain medication today. I can feel me back a little bit, but without boring you to death, I'm hoping to be talking about some of this with Dr. Glidden when he comes on. So let me see. What else have I got in there? Oh, God blimey, she looks like she's getting drunk. Let me have a quick look. Cars of the guy, the son and daughter, I believe. I don't know what this is about. We are going to try and push this in there, and I'll bring that up on the screen. Hopefully there's nothing else on there. Can you all see it? So Linda Frost, hello. Jim Music, Makeshift 1012. I can't wait to talk about the British Constitution this evening. There's no such thing as a British Constitution. Makeshift 1012, hi. There is no such thing as a British Constitution. Exactly that, Linda Frost. Well, I'm glad you're feeling a little better. So am I. Archie baby, respect Graham always, thank you. And hopefully when Dr. Glidden comes on, he's going to tell, when I say to him, can you just let everyone know, is that painful or is that me being indolent? and hopefully he says, that fucking hurts. But we'll go from there. Richie Goulden, 5b5, looking forward to tomorrow evening. Should be good. I think there's quite a few people going. It's not going to be overly long, though. I think it'll probably go on for 2 hours. 5b5, looking forward to tomorrow evening. Merry old England evening. Jim Hart, long live England. Yeah, no, I agree entirely. Tracy Truism is out there again. Who is that Tracy Truism woman? Who is she? Oh, Tracy, that's who you are. What's that? What? Johnny Tart, evening all. Hiya, DD and Patriots. That's strange. I'm actually seeing an English flag coming from YouTube. Normally it's a black flag if you put anything like that. Maybe they're starting to learn some lessons. Ray Edmonds, good evening. Merry old England. John Faulkner, one of our very loyal and intelligent supporters. Bandit 600, evening Patriots. Tracy Truism, hello. Bandit. Who else is out there? Stafford John. Hi DD and Patriots. Merry old England. Woohoo! Stafford John. Makeshift, you can't share links in here. John Aspinall. Evening, everyone. Tracy Truism. Stafford John. Smuck 90. Hiya, Graham. I have a bloke taking a DVLA to court over VAAA certificate. Makeshift 1012. Let me have a look. Anyone else out there? You're all steaming in. Don't forget, I am a few minutes early. I've no doubt when Dr. Glidden pops in, we'll be able to have a little chat. Have they reached the moon yet? Huh? I don't understand what that means. Good evening, John Aspinall stuff. Luke, Bandit 600 is out there. Stuff is John. I'm looking at all the people coming in. Well done. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like. Let's see if we can get 100 likes before the end of the show. I have been sitting quite a bit today, so I don't want to really tear the arse out of this because I don't want to do any damage before the seminar tomorrow. I've got a 2-hour drive, but I have got someone coming around to help me get this stuff in the car, and there's quite a bit to get in the car. I hope my car makes it, to be honest. It will make it, it's just been serviced. What I mean is getting all the gear in, because it's taking some weight on it. There is some space going in the Americans. What's this one? Alternatives 2 on their way into it. We've never been to the moon. I would say that's debatable, to be honest with you. I think it was a propaganda coup. But there we are. Keep sharing. Sharing is caring. Get the information out there. Hopefully Dr. Glidden will be popping in sometime soon. Like I say, I haven't taken any painkillers, so feeling quite pleased with myself at the moment. I have been for a walk. I've been out for breakfast. I went in a pub and I'm not drinking alcohol at all. So just to make sure everything still stays the same. Kenny Leeds. That Mottermouth, Allwood. Who's Allwood? I don't know. Has been slagging you off, Graham, and saying English Constitution is bollocks. I don't know who Allwood is. Let me have a look. Good evening, DD and everybody. If you're talking, I don't know who that person is that you're talking about, but there are people out there. There's one in particular. I'm not even going to say the name of his channel, but he has previously been done for and been sent to prison for harassment, right? Just to make sure. Never heard of him. Don't know the name, not interested. I don't get involved with trolls or idiots. Trust me when I say this. They're indoctrinated. There's nothing I can do about idiocy, right? Even when you show them the evidence, they reject that's idiocy. There's nothing you can do about that. Or they're indoctrinated to believe something and they just can't handle it. So what I'm going to do now is hopefully get Dr. Glidden to come in. Let's see if I can click this button. Let me see if it comes in. Hopefully it's in. And Dr. Glidden is going to do something with his camera. Ooh! Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
How the hell are you, Governor? It's all right.
I'm
It's all right.
Yes, well, I'm somewhat all right. Anyway, I've just explained to people it's the first time in about 3 weeks that I haven't taken any painkillers at all. So
okay, so I got your write up, and I know what you need. So I'm going to show it to you. Okay.
Okay. But so as long as you don't mind, what's it called? CALCAFLUORICA 1M.
Okay, that's one thing you're going to get. There's another thing you're going to get.
Go on. Right, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can write this.
Yeah, that's an H.
HYP. PERICUM 30C. Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to get these from this company.
Hang on a minute. Right, HELIOS.co.uk. Yeah.
Okay. Now here's how I'd like you to take it.
Okay.
I want you to take the Hypericum.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning and before bed.
Yeah.
And I want you to take the Calcarea Florica. What time do you get up?
Well, that depends on what I'm doing, but on average, I'd say 7 a.m.
Okay. Okay, very good. So then the first dose of Florica would be 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And 9 o'clock p.m. 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m.
Okay.
And take the Hypericum, just keep it on the bedside. You wake up, take 2 pellets. Right before you go to bed, you take 2 pellets. Okay. And the dose of all of this is 2 pellets at a time. So the Hypericum, 2 pellets in the morning, 2 pellets before bed, the Calcarea Florica, 2 pellets, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Okay, y'all. So let me just...
Right, you do that. Do that for 7 days in a row and then email me back what happened.
7 days. Okay.
Now, I got your workup and you have do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, no, definitely.
On air?
No, definitely. I think it's a benefit, but I was more worried that you wouldn't. So I'll just bring it up. The reason why I'm bringing this up on the screen, right? It's in case anyone out there like Rupert Lowe calls me indolent, right? I just wanted to get your opinion whether that is painful or not.
Yeah, now that could be painful. So the problem that you have physiologically is the L4 to 5 central and left paracentral disc protrusion with bilateral stenosis. So you have a herniated disc that's protruding, and that's most likely the cause of the painful syndrome that you're having. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a real physiological thing. I mean, it's like having a splinter in your arm. It's going to hurt, right? It's not in your head. It's not your imagination. It's not because you have a voodoo curse. It's because there's a physiological problem with your back, and it's a problem and it needs to be fixed. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. And, I don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole because people would just not believe me. But notwithstanding a physical trauma to the body, like, you have someone cut you with a knife, or you have a bullet in your arm, or you fell down the stairs and you broke your leg. Those are all physical traumas, right? Yeah. So when somebody develops a back situation like this, where there's a physiological change in the structure of the spine and the intervertebral disc. So let me show you somewhere. I have a little, where the heck did I put it? Hold on. I don't know. The gypsies must have, oh, here it is. It's right here. Okay. So here's my model of the spine. Yeah. Okay. This is your backbone. These white things are the bones that the chiropractors adjust, right? Yeah. And by the way, a good chiropractor is worth their weight in gold, as far as I'm concerned. In this particular model, the black things are the discs. They're called intervertebral discs, and they exist like shock absorbers between the bones of your spine.
Yeah.
Because the bones of the spine are there to protect your spinal cord, which is one giant nerve. In your brain, in your head, the back of your brain coalesces into the spinal cord. It goes all the way down your back, and it's protected by these bones. And in between each of the bones, like right here,
Yeah.
a nerve comes out on each side. A nerve will come out, and it goes to different parts of the body to make things work, right? Now, if this disc needs to be, and I'm exaggerating, this thick, but it's only this thick, it's like a feather pillow that's lost its feathers. It's not going to be cushy anymore, and you're not going to get a good night's sleep because it can't do its job of cushioning. So when the disc itself loses its structural integrity, if it presses up against the nerve because it's not, it doesn't have the elasticity that it needs to have, it doesn't have the structural strength that it needs to do, it gets squished by the weight of your backbone, it can press up against the nerve. And that's like, have you ever hit your funny bone?
Yeah.
Like you hit your, and you get all this nerve sensation, and it's like that, except different because it's a different nerve. So that's the anatomical kind of physiological thing that's at play here. So the therapeutic over time is to take nutrition into your body that helps the intervertebral discs to be all that they can be. It's like we want to feed the body nutrition to help the discs regain their strength and structural integrity. That's tricky because, I can fix somebody's liver in a week because the liver has a massive amount of blood going to it all the time. But the intervertebral discs do not. There's limited blood supply to the intervertebral disc. So helping the disc to be stronger with medical nutrition takes time. It's like a 9-month, 10-month, 1 year long process. You just have to keep taking the disc nutrients all the freaking time, like it's your job, and eventually you will bounce back. Now, in the meantime, so let me talk about the physiological aspect of this, because there's another thing that you can do to help this, okay? So there is a device that you can get. You lie down on it, and you hook your ankles into one end of it so your ankles don't move. And the other end of it, it goes up underneath your shoulders, and it has a little ratchet on it. And it's like in the medieval days, they'd torture people, they'd put them on the rack, right? They'd stretch their back like that until their back broke. Well, this is similar to that, but we're not going to break your back. You lie on it horizontally, which will be good for you because it feels good when you lie flat.
Yeah.
And you ratchet the ratchet down, and it stretches your back. And it takes the pressure off of that. And it helps. It helps a great. It's like an internal massage. You've got a stiff muscle. You can massage it out. Well, when you use this device every day, three times a day, it really helps to decompress the spine and take the pressure off of the nerve root, and that will, reduce the pain and facilitate the healing. So you can do that. It's going to cost you about $100 US, I think. I'll send you a link so you know what the device looks like, and you can find one in the UK. Now, in the past, what we used to do is that there were devices that would flip upside down. You'd hook your ankles into it, right? And you'd move your arms over your head, and the device would flip you upside down. So now your feet are up here and your head is here, and gravity would stretch you out.
Yeah.
But I don't like doing that because if you do it the wrong way, number one, you can get stuck in the upside down position. And number two, you could get a stroke because when that much blood goes to your brain, if the blood vessels in your brain aren't strong enough, the pressure from the blood can make one of them pop. and then you get a hemorrhagic stroke, and that's not good. So we want to avoid that. So that's why we do the horizontal back decompressor. I don't know, whoever invented this machine should get a Nobel freaking prize, because they're really great at pain mitigation for exactly this type of condition. Okay? So that's the physiological stuff that's at play here. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is where I'm going to lose half of your audience, but I don't care, because this is simply the truth of the matter. Okay?
Now you sound like Rupert Lowe, because that's what he says. I don't care.
I used to care, but I'm 67 and I don't care anymore, because you wouldn't believe the things I've seen people recover from. Well, you would, but most people wouldn't. But anyway, here's the deal. Okay? Notwithstanding a physical trauma to the body, you know, like you're in a car crash, you get somebody shot a bullet in your leg, heaven forbid, or you got a broken bone or something like that. We're putting all that off to the side. When somebody generates a physiological syndrome like a herniated disc, just from life, right? There was no external trauma. Even though it's a physiological thing, it started as an energetic disturbance in the energy field of your body. And that energetic disturbance eventually trickled down to the physical. But the root cause of this is not physical. The root cause of this is energetic. And if we treat it with energetic medicine, we can cure it. And I'm using the cure word on purpose. We can, and this, you know, I've written 3 books. My second book was called Attempt a Cure, because that's what holistic physicians do. We attempt to cure the condition, whatever it is, because, well, the body knows how to fix itself. The body wants to fix itself. The body's trying to fix itself. So why wouldn't I do that? The only reason I wouldn't do that is if I had an MD after my name and I didn't think that was possible. Because remember, to the walnut-sized brains of MDs, your body is a bag of biochemicals waiting to break. Period. Hard stop. There's no such thing as the spirit. There's no such thing as life after death. Yeah.
Are you saying that GPs or doctors have walnut-sized brains? Like
yes, I am. I am.
Say hello to Dino. I made him when I was 6 years old.
Hello, Dino.
He's my little
How
friend.
are you, mate? He's a good friend.
Go on.
So we treat this with an energetic medicine, because that's where the root cause of the problem came from. Now, if you had a bullet in your arm, heaven forbid, we would need physical medicine to remove that, right? You had a broken bone, we would need physical medicine to put those pieces back together. But for something like this, even though there is a identifiable, a measurable, repeatable physiological problem, the root cause of that problem was energetic. And that's what needs to be fixed. Because when you can heal the energetic signature, the physical stuff will heal. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Because, you know, I have a colleague in Montreal. He's probably the most effective homeopathic physician on the planet right now. He treats cancer extremely effectively. He's had over 400 cases of multiple sclerosis that he's treated, and it's like, it's unbelievable what you can do when you know what you're doing with natural medicine. But he gave a presentation a couple of years ago at a conference that I went to about an elderly woman who he was treating, and her spine was like, had 3 scoliosis in it. It was twisted like a pretzel. It had punched out lytic lesions in the spine, like there were holes. There were holes in the bony part. There were holes, like holes. And he treated her. No pain. Pain went away. And he wasn't using pain meds. He wasn't using opioids or pain suppressors that then wear off. He was treating the energetic signature of the problem and it completely resolved the pain, even though the physiology hadn't changed. But when we change the energetic signature of the illness, that's when the magic happens. Now, how do we do that? Well, the energetic signature is based upon something called the law of similars. And the law of similars is a law of nature. It exists whether you believe in it or not. It's like aerodynamics, right? There are laws that apply to when you fly a plane. And if you pay attention to those laws, you can fly the plane. If you don't pay attention to those laws, you're going to crash the plane. So when we're treating somebody with anything, what we do is we're like Sherlock Holmes snooping around a crime scene looking for clues. And the clues that help us activate the law of similars to effect an energetic cure are the symptoms that your body is expressing. So your symptoms were interesting because you had a burning pain going down the legs, felt like a sunburn. You also had sharp, sticking, momentary sensations in different parts of your extremity. Your pain syndrome was better if you lay flat on your back. It was worse if you were sitting, and it was worse if you were walking. It was made better by a cold application and made worse by a warm application, right?
Yeah.
When we put all of those clues together, we get Calcarea fluorica as the remedy for your energetic signature. Now, to activate the law of similars and provoke a cure. Now, the hypericum was prescribed because that's called an organ-specific medicine. And in this case, hypericum is a specific for nerve irritation. So whenever there's an irritation of a nerve, which is part of the pain syndrome, hypericum has to be considered. So I don't know if hypericum is going to help you or not, but it's not going to hurt you. It's very inexpensive, so I'm going to have you run it up the flagpole and see if it flies. So we're going to alternate hypericum and Calcarea fluorica, hypericum and Calcarea fluorica. And if these treatments are good for you, if I have hit the bullseye with my prescription and have activated the law of similars, then you should feel a dramatic reduction in the pain within 7 days, if not sooner. Because that's just how it works. We can fly the plane, we can crash the plane. And naturopathic doctors, homeopathic doctors fly the plane. Medical doctors don't even believe the planes exist, so it's not even worth talking about. I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's how we do it.
No, it did. So getting back to, and that was a very good explanation and showing the spine and the disc. On the other side of it, you said about disc nutrients. What are what? So the essential 90, I take it, is
yes, but because of this, we would need extra calcium, which would be the OsteoFX.
I've got that here.
Extra minerals, plant-derived minerals, and a product called glucogel, GLUCOGEL capsules, glucogel capsules, not the glucogel liquid, the glucogel capsules, 8 capsules a day. So that's 4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch, or 4 with lunch and 4 with dinner. Until this, you're out of the woods. Until this is completely better, you do that twice a day, every day, like your life depended on it, probably 9, 10, 11 months. All right? In order to strengthen that part of your body, because there is a physiological weakness here. And when we experience the stress of life, which you had a lion's share of before this happened, the stress will attack us at our weakest link.
Yeah. And
that's your weakest link. For better or for worse, right? Somebody else's weakest link might be their skin, and they might get, a herpetic outbreak or eczema or shingles attack. Another person might get migraine headaches. Another person might get, an ulcer or something, right? But everybody has different strengths and weaknesses that the stress of life impacts. And we're all going to break at a certain point when the stress is strong enough. It happens to everybody. But then the question is, well, what am I going to do to bounce back from it?
Yeah.
And this is how we bounce back from it. So the dose of the Osteo FX, do you have the powder, I'm assuming, or the liquid?
No, the powder.
Powder would be 1 scoop twice a day.
Yeah.
And you have the mineral caps or the mineral liquid?
Mineral caps. No, I've got the mineral tablets.
Yeah, the tablets. So you do 3 a day of the mineral tablets between meals. I want you to do the mineral tablets between meals, please. All right. So you do two of the osteo, 3 of the minerals, 4 of the glucogel, 4 of the glucogel. You do it like that. But the real curative treatment here is the homeopathy.
Yeah.
And I expect that to produce nice results quickly.
Very good.
And Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Well
Who is
done.
Bob anyway? Where is that guy?
It's gone on. So Bob's your uncle. Do you know where that actually come from? Do you know
No.
that come because I think it was 150 years ago. It may be slightly longer than that. But there was a particular minister in Parliament, and he was doing all these different things, and he was becoming very successful in business and all of that. But someone else was called Robert, whatever his name was, Bob, was his uncle. So everyone said to him, "Yeah, and Bob's your uncle."
Oh,
I was
that's
basically saying whatever he did, his uncle bailed him out. That's where it comes from. It was in the English Parliament where it happened. I can't remember the names of them, but it's a funny story. Yeah,
that is funny.
In America, it would probably be if you're referring to Hunter Biden, you would say, yeah, and Biden's your dad, and the president's your dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get away with everything. Basically. That is the same situation.
Yeah. Are you having any traction with the the English Constitution stuff?
There's a lot more people talking about it. I've been on a number of shows. What we're actually aiming for, trying to get on Tucker Carlson, because I think Tucker will love to have a conversation about the English and the English Constitution in particular. So we're trying that. But there's a lot more people speaking of the English Constitution, and Restore Britain. Actually, in my view, means restore England, restore the English Constitution, restore Scotland, restore Ireland, restore everything to the way it was. So I think a lot more people are actually listening, which is good. Yeah, but there's more to come. I've got a seminar tomorrow night in Weston-super-Mare. Funny enough, there's someone going there who wants to give me a treatment. It's an electric treatment or a frequency treatment.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, again, there's a guy there who wants to get. He said it takes about 7 minutes. It's not aggressive. It's not nasty. It's just an electrical treatment. And I was like, but when I see the kit, they sent me a picture of the kit. I was like, what the beep is that? Right. But they said it's not bad. It's nice. So hopefully I can get that done as well.
Yeah, I would do it. Yeah, let me know what happens, please. And by the way, look, man, if you do get on Tucker Carlson, you better drop my name or I will never talk to you again.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If I ever get on Tucker Carlson, I'm going to have a very serious conversation with him about you being one of the most trustworthy and best doctors out there, and you need to get him on the show and see what he says. He's had a few doctors on his show.
Yeah, but they're all MDs. They're all green allopaths. They're all integrative medicine. You can't integrate medicine. It's You've got the homeopathic way, you've got the naturopathic way, you've got the Ayurvedic way, you've got the allopathic way, and they're all really good for different things.
Yeah.
And we don't need to like mix them up all together. What we need is medical freedom. We need to have every different type of doctor have equal access and equal protection under the law, and nobody's going to screw with you because you're not an MD. That's what we need.
Yeah, and you need that not only in law, right, which in England now we have a monopoly, which is unlawful. And again, people can't get up there and speak for the people. And again, just to make sure I emphasise what you've just described is a free market economy. And in a free market economy, what gets to the best and gets people's attention is what actually works and what cures.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
The only reason that the medical doctors are number one is because they legislated themselves there.
Yeah.
And they kicked all their competition off the bus. That's the only reason that they're number one. If we actually did have medical freedom, they'd all be out of a job in 2 years.
Isn't it funny that you mentioned they legislated themselves there? So in England, right, or the UK, or whatever you want to describe it as, the disunited kingdom, as I describe it as, they legislated the lawyers, the judges, and that indolent group of people, lazy, right, who don't understand the law. They legislated in 2007. It was called the Legal Services Act, and it stops people like me representing someone else and actually doing your best for the client in a court of law. It's disgusting, and they can send you to prison for it.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, right?
Exactly.
I mean, unless you're God, right? But that's what happens inside of a monopoly. And let me tell you something. The medical monopoly is so vast that people don't even know it's a monopoly. It's hiding in plain sight. People don't recognize it as a monopoly, even though it is, and it's killing people. And it's a problem.
It's disgusting what they're doing. But yeah, no, I'm grateful.
You know, the MDs are great for surgery and military field medicine and trauma care. That's their wheelhouse. That's what they're good for. You should go to them for that. But for everything else, you should not go to them because their therapeutics are inconsistent with natural law. They're out of touch with the reality of the human experience, and their therapeutics are not intended to cure anything. They're just intended to kick the can down the road and manage it, right? So the blood pressure is never cured, it's managed. The arthritis is never cured, it's managed. The heartburn is never cured, it's managed. And that leads to more problems. So, right, we need medical freedom. We need to bring the doctors that know how to cure things. We need to give them a seat at the table. You need to give us a seat at the table.
No, I agree.
But Big Pharma doesn't like that because remember, a patient cured is a customer lost, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right.
So interesting. So there's two things I want to cover off here, not to do with my back, but two other things. One is multiple sclerosis. You mentioned it. There's a guy in do you say that there's a friend of yours in Canada that's very good at treating multiple sclerosis?
It's impossible to treat multiple sclerosis. It's impossible to treat heartburn. It's impossible to treat anything. You can't treat a disease doesn't exist. But you can treat a person who has a set of symptoms that a medical profession has given a label to. So yes, the language is important. So this guy's treated over 450 people who were diagnosed with multiple sclerosis successfully. And he did it with homeopathy, period. No nutrition, no herbs, no vitamins, no minerals, no fasting, no detox, no physical medicine, just homeopathic treatment based on the law of similars. And I got to tell you, man, homeopathy is the most misunderstood. And it's misunderstood because there's been a propaganda campaign against homeopathy for the last 120 years.
Yeah.
But it's the most misunderstood and the most curative system of medicine on the planet right now. And if you don't know about homeopathy, folks, you don't know what you're missing.
So, because there's a lady that contacted me last week or 2 weeks ago, and she has been diagnosed with MS.
Yeah.
And so it might be beneficial for her to contact your friend.
100%. I'll give you off the air. I'll give you his contact info, and you can just forward it to her. He treats people virtually like I do. He treats people all over the world. You don't have to go to Canada to see the guy. But if I had MS, I'd camp out in front of his office until he saw me.
Right. Well, hopefully, friends of the lady I'm talking about are watching the show, and they will remind me to bring that up. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, I have had a number of ladies talk to me about wrinkles.
Oh yeah.
Mainly facial wrinkles, right? Which I haven't got a problem with. But what I said to one of these ladies is, if you keep taking 6 spoons of sugar in your tea every day and you drink 10 cups of the stuff, right, and you smoke, you will get wrinkles, and it's not good for you. But you explain in your words, what can they do with wrinkles?
Well, so these things happen. The first, second, and third thing to think about when somebody has a problem, right? Like you've got heartburn, you got high blood pressure, you got multiple sclerosis, your skin's wrinkly, your skin's thin like parchment, you got spider veins, you got hemorrhoids, you got varicose veins, whatever the hell it is. The first thing to consider is, well, my body has run out of the nutrients that it needs to keep that part of my body healthy.
Yeah.
Just like your car. Your car runs out of oil, the engine's going to seize. Nothing wrong with the engine, ran out of oil. If your tires run out of air, they're going to roll off the rim. Nothing wrong with the rubber on the tire, ran out of air. So it's the same with the human body. When the human body runs out of essential nutrients, things start to break. And there are 2 essential nutrients that the skin needs in order to maintain optimal health. One is omega-3 essential fatty acids. We get that from fish oil and from certain types of plant oils. And it's an essential nutrient. It's not optional, it's essential. And the other is copper, because the body needs the mineral copper in order to produce a molecule called elastin. And guess what elastin is used for? It's to keep the parts of the body that needs to be flexible and elastic, flexible and elastic. So if you run out of copper, you're going to run out of elastin. And if you run out of elastin, your body's not going to be able to make elastin because it needs copper to do that. And so you're going to get, your face is going to get, wrinkly and baggy and saggy. Your breasts are going to get baggy and saggy. Your bladder is going to prolapse. Your uterus is going to prolapse. You're going to get varicose veins or spider veins or hemangiomas just because you don't have enough copper. Not because you're getting older, not because you have a voodoo curse, but because your body just ran out of the stuff that it needed to keep that particular part of your body alive. And it's interesting to think about this, because the body has a hierarchy of defensive systems. And this is where it gets a little, this is like a little advanced. This isn't like a beginner's class. We're getting a little deep into it now, but health is the ability of a living organism to experience negative stress and remain symptom-free. That's what health is. The ability to experience stress and not get any symptoms. So, right, we experience the stress of life as millions of types of stress. Most of the time, the stress of life bounces off of us, like, the force field on the Starship Enterprise. But every once in a while, nothing happens. But every once in a while, a stress gets through our defenses and impacts the system. When a stress impacts the system becomes destabilized. And when the system becomes destabilized, it compensates and produces a symptom.
Yeah.
A symptom can be anything. It can be, asthma. It can be a wart on your skin. It can be a multiple sclerosis. It can be spinal stenosis with a herniated disc. It can be heartburn. It's a symptom. It can be anything. It can be depression, anxiety, PTSD. It can be anything. It's a symptom. Now, it's interesting because the body has, like a castle, different layers of defense. So a healthy body attempts to produce symptoms on the skin and the mucous membranes first. Then it falls back, and then it goes more internal. Then bones and joints become affected, then internal organs become affected, then the heart becomes affected, and then the brain becomes affected. This is why the majority of childhood illnesses, skin and mucous membrane, skin and mucous membrane, skin and mucous membrane, right? When kid gets sick, it's the skin or their upper respiratory tract. That's it. Because those are the first levels of defense, and their systems are relatively vital and relatively strong. So when they get stressed by something, their body punches out a symptom on the skin or the mucous membrane, because that's what a healthy system does. And it's also why when people are in the nut house, they're legitimately psychotic, or the schizophreniform disorder or whatever, they never get physically sick. They never get the flu. They never get COVID. They never get sick. They smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Their lungs are clear. Well, how the hell does that happen? Well, it's because their body has fallen all the way to its last level of defense, which is the brain, and it doesn't generate physical symptoms anymore. So this is a different, unique, interesting, mind-bending way to look at the whole way that the human body works, which the medical doctors are completely blind to, by the way. So whenever I see a symptom on the skin, a chronic symptom on the skin, it's an indication that the system is relatively good, and it's good because the body was able to generate a symptom on the skin. Now, there are exceptions to that rule, but nonetheless, so we need the 90 essential nutrients.
Yeah.
Extra omega-3 essential fatty acids. That would be extra fish oil. I would probably do 9 fish oil capsules a day. 3, 3, and 3. 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 with dinner. And copper. And the best way to get copper is with ultimate selenium. And also go to a flea market somewhere, get a copper mug.
I was
100% copper mug. And put water in it.
Say that to you. Isn't it funny when you look at the people in the late 1800s? Don't forget, I come from a metal spinning family, right? And we used to make copper pots for people to cook in, right?
Yeah.
That's what people cooked in. But if you look at the complexion of them people, they always had good complexions and really good skin going back. And it was only when they stopped using copper mugs, because they started using new formulas and new types of metal and putting different handles on them. All of a sudden, you start getting these skin issues.
Yeah, copper is an essential mineral, and the body can't make it. It needs it, right? Plants can't make minerals, and animals can't make minerals. So we have to get minerals into the body in a unique way. That's a good way to get copper into the body. The ultimate selenium is another way to do it. There's a comment here. What about chemtrails? Well, chemtrails are just another stress it's another life stress, right? So let's break stress down, right? There's bacterial stress. There's pollen, right? There's environmental stress, like pollutants, chemtrails, crap in the air, crap in the water, crap in the food, right? There's aging is a stress. Weather is a stress. Emotional stress, financial stress, political stress, romantic stress. I mean, the list goes on. Freaking life is a great big bowl of stress, man. Chemtrails are one of the stressors. But my point here is, if your body is strong and nutrified, and you're giving your body the essential nutrients all the freaking time, and you've stopped eating food that's hurting the body, which is like death by 1,000 cuts if you don't do it, then your body gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's harder to knock it over. And when you do get knocked over, you bounce back quickly. So this is our situation. Chemtrails is just another stress, and you can find a way to handle it, other than just never going outside, right?
I agree. No, so someone's just asked me, do they still make copper pots? I was actually thinking, if I could find a place, I would set up a lathe, right, and go back to my trade of when I was 16 years old, right, and make
Yeah,
copper
yeah,
pots and make the different sizes. It's like pottery, but with metal. I don't know if
yeah,
you've ever
yeah.
seen a metal spinner. And you spin the metal over the chuck, and you create that pot, right? It's a skill and an art
Yeah.
form and a form of
Mm,
engineering. I mean, my dad owned a factory, right? But by the
mm.
way, before anyone thinks my dad is some super rich guy, he's now 96 years old. He started work when he was 6 years old, right? So much for white privilege, right?
Yeah.
And he gave the money to my grandmother, his mother, because they didn't have enough money, because the dirty stinking communist kicked my grandfather out basically of a factory. And then later on, like, he taught all of his sons how to spin, right? And they've all got trades, and me and my brother had a trade as well. But here's the kicker here, right? This is the bit that makes me, when I look at all these things and what's going on, them old trades were part of who we are, and it assisted, with what we do. But just to let you know, where my dad originally got the money to start the factory, he won the equivalent of the lottery. In 1952, he won two
Gotta
and a
love
half
that.
thousand pound, and instead of like most working class people, he didn't go and piss it up the wall, right? He said, I'm buying a factory, I'm buying machinery, and I am employing all my brothers. And that's exactly what he did. And then he ended up employing up to 40 people in the factory, always worked on the lathe every day of his life, right? He's now, just to let you know, I'm just going to have a little vent here, right? I've showed everyone scan.com and that scan that they did. I had to pay for that privately, right? But just the point, the National Health Service that I have paid into all of my life, I am still waiting for the fucking scan. I'm still waiting for them to take me into hospital and scan me, right? Yet when I spoke to the osteopath, right, he said, well, if you want money and you want to pay, when do you want it? I said, as soon as possible. I'm in agony. He went, well, you can have it tomorrow. And he went, bing, 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 right? And I was straight in there being scanned. And the thing is, they haven't even, the National Health Service still hasn't made the appointment for my scan.
It's unbelievable.
It's,
That's the bureaucrat. It's a bureaucratic meltdown, and everybody's gotten used to it. And I'm surprised there hasn't been a riot. If people knew what I know
yeah.
about how medicine is developed and delivered, there would be a riot, because people they would not put up with this bullshit anymore.
Well, Henry Ford said, if people knew how money was created, there would be revolution by the morning.
Yeah.
And it's about right. I mean, Henry Ford got so much. He got so much right, and he even said the funniest thing that I ever heard was when a union rep in one of his factories turned around to Henry Ford and said something about the people and the men working there, and Henry Ford turned around and said, "If you don't behave yourselves, I'll just get robots to do it." And then the worker said, and it's happened. And the worker
Yeah.
turned around and said, "But robots don't buy cars."
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a rat. I saw a comment in the chat room here that somebody said liver is a good source of copper, and they are absolutely right. But remember, the the cow who you get the liver from, or it's probably cow's liver or beef liver, right? The cow's body can't make copper. The cow has to get copper into its body in order to have copper concentrated in the liver. That's only going to happen if the cow was lucky enough to be eating grass that was grown in soil where there was copper.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about people always say, I'm big on the trace mineral selenium. And that's a really important nutrient. It's a really important mineral. And people tell me, oh, I just eat Brazil nuts because Brazil nuts concentrate selenium. And that's all I need is my Brazil nut. And I say, well, you're full of crap, because the Brazil nut tree can't make selenium. Selenium is a mineral. It's like gold.
Yeah, it comes from the soil.
It comes from the soil. So there has to be selenium in the soil in order for the Brazil nut tree to suck it out of the soil and put it into the nut. And I have a map. I gave a presentation somewhere of the selenium deposits in the topsoil of the United States. Then it's piecemeal, right?
Yeah.
The minerals exist in the soil like chocolate in chocolate ripple ice cream. It's not spread out evenly over the whole, and there's no place on the planet that we've found yet where the topsoil contains all 60 minerals. They're simply not there, which is why you need to supplement with minerals. It's mandatory. It's not optional. If you are not supplementing with minerals, something's going to break in your body. It's only a matter of time because your body needs minerals to stay healthy. It needs 60 minerals, 16 vitamins. You can get some of your vitamins from food. 12 amino acids, you get those from protein if your digestion is strong enough to be able to digest the amino acids out of protein. And you can get omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids from eating certain foods, but you can't get the minerals from eating food because they're not there. You have to supplement. It's not optional. It's mandatory. And when you do start supplementing with the right stuff, little switches start turning on in your body that have been turned off for a long, long time. And you start to feel better. Your mood gets better. Your energy gets better. Your sleep gets better. Your stamina gets better. Your aches and pains get better. It's not magic. It's just science. And you didn't know any better because your medical doctor doesn't have any training in this. And they don't even give a crap about it because, they don't think your body can fix itself. And that's a problem.
For some reason, this link is breaking down. Not breaking down, but the actual transmission, you've gone like a robot.
Oh, really?
Is everyone seeing that, or is it good our end?
I've got a strong signal on my end.
On Rumble yet again. I don't like. If anyone would like to organise any seminar, yeah. Actually, I can see you again now. You're back again.
Good.
Yeah.
I disappeared for a minute. I was abducted by aliens. Now I'm back.
Now I do actually think that the system is attacking Rumble. They do not like Rumble at all because it is a proper free speech it was a free speech platform with well managed, or should have well managed channels on it. So hopefully it's good. Right, let me ask the audience, have you got any other questions, if you don't mind taking a few other questions on that? And I'm going to get a number of people to watch this tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Questions?
What I would...
Go on.
Yeah, someone says I'm freezing up. So anyway, I've been doing this for 37 years, which is amazing, I think. And I've seen trends in 37 years. And one of the things that I found about 15 years ago, and this was a very humbling realization to me, is that for most of the conditions that most people go to the doctor for most of the time, you don't need a private appointment. You just need to know what to do in order to help your body to fix it. Sometimes you need a private appointment, but most of the time you don't. I mean, do you need to go to an outdoor camping specialist to tell you to put warm clothes on when you shovel your driveway in the middle of winter? No, it's common sense, right? The common sense things that you need to do in order to help your body fix itself, you've never been told. And that's what I have dedicated the last 15 years of my life to, is public education about telling people what they need to do in order to fix themselves. And that's the information that I have on my website. So you should find...
Someone has just asked a question about depression and what would they need to take. So the essential 90, and that's what I take. And that is literally from Young Ivy. And does it work? Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, we nutrify the body. We give the body the stuff that it needs to fix itself.
exactly.
I mean, if you had scurvy, if you were a pirate, dar, you're a pirate and you've got scurvy, dar, you need vitamin C. So you eat limes or lemons. That's why English sailors were called limeys, by the way.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And when I tell the story, people go, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." Let me see if I can. I'm going to find something on here to make sure. There it is. I'm going to bring it up on the screen because I want everyone to see it. So everyone watching this now, you can go to this website, and there's already been quite a few people this week, right? So on the website is this, right? So this is, and in particular, there is a link that you should use on the description of this video, right? If you click on there, Dr. Glidden and I both know that you've come from this program and once a month when we do these shows, but and again, I'm emphasizing all the information that you need is on this website. This is one of the best websites I have seen. I've done a lot of research into this before I found Dr. Glidden, right? And I think from the day we first spoke, we've been like, we think the same. It's really good. I quite like it. Right? And then you've got all of this information. Now, if you went to members, which I am a member, it will then come up on the screen, membership content. And then if you went too along, so you can go for, you should go for all of these. There's lots of stuff in there for just about everything you can think of, including the 12 foods that you should not touch. You shouldn't be putting them in your body. But there's the self-help recovery protocols. And you not only can you help yourself, you can help other people, right? By going on there. And again, it lists what they are. So there's all different things on there. Sciatica. Let me come on to there. So again, if you went down to the bottom, what does it say? It says Beyond Osteo FS liquid or power, one bottle, 100 pounds, one scoop, 3 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice, 3 ounces of water liquid, and obviously the stuff that I've been told tonight. So everything is on there, and all you need to do is go to that website. So let me see if I can briefly go into, let me see if I can get to this. No doubt one of our lot will put it on there anyway. Let me hit the pause button on that, otherwise you're going to get echo. But if I put that link, copy, let's go back to my main screen to all, and there's the link, right? And it's important to use that link. But for everyone watching this at a later date, the link is in the description, right? So to the person who's just asked me, stop sharing, this is what I take for depression. And in case everyone thinks, so generally speaking, severe depression, why have I got an echo? Or is that because no, I've copped it, right? Severe depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain, and you need to put something in there to resolve it and stop it, just to tell you. And if you think, as Dr. Glidden earlier on said, if you end up in the nut house, I was in the nut house twice, right? A full Comanche cuckoo, right? And I enjoyed every minute of it. Because it straightens you right out. You've got time to think, right, and pull yourself up, and it's because your body breaks if it hasn't got enough going in there. If it's got too many stressors coming at you at the same time, and at that time I had them coming at me from every direction, everywhere. And what the doctor said to me was, because I said I feel weak, right, because I snapped, and he said you've been strong too long. That's your problem. And the problem is you've now started to destroy your own body because you wouldn't ask for help. That's it, right? And all you got to do is ask for help. And the whole point of having this channel every single night is you've got someone like Dr. Glidden that can actually help you. And by the way, people, I know the other side, meaning the communists, declare me as cuckoo. Even now, I am definitely not cuckoo. Not anymore, anyway.
That's the easiest way to marginalize somebody. When the side that you're arguing runs out of facts,
yeah,
they turn to ad hominem character assassinations because that's all that they have.
Yeah,
so when anybody starts criticizing anybody's character, you know that they don't have a leg to stand on. And again, this is not the information that's on my website. It's not. I mean, I am the lens through which this information is focused. This information wasn't dreamt up by Dr. Glidden. This information was dreamt up by thousands of naturopathic doctors and homeopathic doctors over the last 200 years. I have access to their information. We studied that stuff in school. I have applied it clinically for 37 years. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. This information is really good and it can help you. Do we have all the answers to everything all the time? No. That's why it's called the practice of medicine. We learn new stuff and we add it. Unlike the medical doctors who learn new stuff and then they abandon the old stuff, right? The halls of conventional medicine, by the way, MD-directed allopathic medicine, are littered with the discarded remains of ridiculous treatments, which in their day were the standard of care. And if you didn't do it that way, it was malpractice, like bleeding people to death. Oh, that's a good idea.
And so I just want to make sure people get this, because they used to tell women when they just invented x-rays that they must get x-rays to x-ray the baby in the womb, right? That didn't turn out to be a good idea, did it? Right?
Yeah. And nobody went to jail. But nobody went to jail.
No.
Right? Yeah. But if a naturopathic doctor gave one person one herb one time and it hurt them, we'd be in jail.
Yeah.
But the MDs do it all the time and they get a pass. The leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed medical treatments. Let me say that again. Yeah. The leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed medical treatments. The leading cause of bankruptcy, medical bills. Yeah. Well, why is that? Well, what's the most expensive type of medicine? It's the one that doesn't cure anything. It's the one that kicks the can down the road and kicks the can down the road and kicks the can down the road. So you need more treatment and more treatment and more treatment and more treatment, and nothing gets fixed, and then you go bankrupt and then you die. And this is what's supposed to be the best medicine money can buy. It's bullshit. The single most important thing anybody can do to optimize their health moving forward is to fire your medical doctor immediately. Only use them if you're bleeding to death or for trauma care or surgery when it's necessary, and seek out alternatives, which are developed and delivered by licensed physicians, alternatives which attempt to fix the freaking problem. That's a smarter idea, and I'm a good resource for that.
Just to make sure other people are aware of this, because I know a lot of veterans watch this show. And you don't just get post-traumatic stress disorder, by the way, from being in the military, right? It is generally caused by human beings. In other words, not natural disasters. But I had a quite bad post-traumatic stress disorder, and every time a certain situation happened in my life, I had a video playing in my brain, right, that would make me go right, almost into attack mode. And in fact, once in Spain, I won't go into detail, but I did go into attack mode. And let me tell you something. The guy who owned the bar rang me when I was on my way back, because I had to get out of Spain, right, said to me, "Fuck me, I have never seen a fight like that," right? And all four of the geezers was down and out, right? When you've got something mentally wrong with you and you go into attack mode, it is like nothing you've ever seen before. But let me just make sure I'm clear on what I'm saying to people. I would not take medication for that, right? And there was a psychologist who was South African over this country. It was a bit of a wait for him, and I went to see him. And do you know what he cured me with? Right? A fucking pencil, right? he basically he said, I'm going to talk you through it and you need to talk through this. And I'm going to move the pencil. And when I move the pencil, you move your eyes up, you follow the pencil to the left, to the right, down, and to the left. And he kept doing that. And do you know what? He actually told me why. He said, but before he started the treatment, he said, the reason I'm offering it to you is because you are open minded and I can see that. He said, I am telling you this will cure you. Right. And he told me the reason why. Right. And then as he went through it, it took about 6 weeks in total, once a week treatments. Right. And the whole thing had gone. The video had gone. The post traumatic stress disorder had gone. Right. Because he did it in a different way and he did not do it with medication.
Right. I learned that technique a couple of years ago. That's a really well-known technique. I forget the name of it now. It has an acronym associated with it. I'll think of it in a minute. But that technique specifically rewires the brain and the way that it handles external stimuli. Yeah. It's a really effective technique, and every psychiatrist in the world needs to know it. But I am of the opinion, and correctly so, that psychiatric medicine is one of the worst forms of allopathic medicine in the world, because the psychiatrist believes that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry. Yeah. The psychiatrist is taught that when you die, it's lights out, game over. Consciousness does not persist. The consciousness is a function of biochemistry. Period. Hard stop. So when you have a problem with your consciousness, like, you've got a mood disorder, or you've got PTSD, or you're depressed, or you're anxious, or whatever, all you have to do is take a brain chemical, because that's the only arrow they have in their quiver to try to fix this. It doesn't fix anything. It just manages the symptoms and makes things worse over time. Psychiatric medicine is horrible. And regretfully, it's everywhere all the time. Benzodiazepines, Xanax, is given to teenage girls in the US like freaking candy, and it's criminal as far as I'm concerned.
And it's strange that there is a correlation, a bit like Alzheimer's and statins, and there is a correlation between this, what they call brain medication, and mass shootings. Right?
That's right.
How all these people that are doing these shootings are on these brain medications, or most of them are,
right.
or they've been on it. It's doing something to your brain that you don't want it to do.
And that's the dirty little secret that's never going to come into the mainstream, because Big Pharma doesn't want to take that hit. That would be too much of a revelation for people. And because people I swear to God, most people in the industrialized nations, they suffer from Stockholm syndrome, which is where you develop feelings of affection for your captors, right?
Like the British. So the people who live here, right, I say this to people all the time. When you call yourself British, right, what have you got? Stockholm syndrome. They're the enemy.
It's crazy. Yeah. People love their medical doctors, even though under the care of their medical doctors, they got sick in the first place. Yeah. They don't connect those dots. Okay, give them a pass on that. And then the medical doctor has no idea what caused your illness, and they have no idea what to do to cure it. They're just going to give you a drug to manage it and wash their hands and sleep soundly at night. It's a crap show. If you knew what I know, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd seen what I've seen, you would never visit the office of a medical doctor ever again unless you were bleeding to death, or you really absolutely positively did need surgery. And you would make it your freaking mission to educate yourself about alternatives, which are science-based and clinically verified alternatives to the pharmaceutical method that actually make your body fix itself. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Who wouldn't want to do that? There's nobody that wouldn't want to do that. The only reason that people don't do that is because they don't know it's a thing.
Let me. Can you remember what that acronym was for that treatment?
Yeah, EDMT, maybe.
I think it was something like that. Yeah, EBMT.
I can't remember. I was taught it 2 years ago. I forget the acronym.
And and there is a difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. A
Oh,
psychiatrist will
big difference.
with medication. A
Right.
psychiatrist will try and do it as naturally as possible.
A psychologist will try to help you to work your way through it and to talk about it and to come to terms with it and to put it to rest and to heal it. But not a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is just going to drug you up. Yeah. And that's a bad idea, no matter which way you cut it. It's a bad idea. I mean, the problem is that these people actually think that they're doing the right thing. And I got to tell you, folks, your medical doctor may be the nicest person that God ever created, but they're like colorblind artists who don't know that they're colorblind.
Oh, yeah,
and that's a problem.
EMDR, eye movement.
EMDR. Yeah, that's it. EMDR. That's it.
Desensitization and reprocesses. EMDR. Yeah. That's what I had.
Yep. It's a wonderful therapy. And why doesn't every doctor in every psychiatrist, every psychiatric hospital, every military hospital that deals with PTSD, why don't they know this?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'll tell you why they don't know it, because of the monopoly that doesn't allow them to know it. I'm telling you, folks, the medical monopoly is the biggest problem in medicine that exists. And we desperately need medical freedom. We don't need to, remove red dye number 5 from food lunches, from school lunches. We need medical freaking freedom. Yeah. The chiropractic doctors and homeopathic doctors and naturopathic doctors and Ayurvedic doctors and herbalists and hands-on healing practitioners all need equal protection under the law, equal amounts of insurance reimbursal, real reinsurance reimbursal, and equal privileges at hospitals. Yeah, no, that's what we need in order to change the world, but I don't think that's going to happen in our lifetime. So that's why I get up in the morning, is to produce content that educates people about what they can do. Exactly. Because there are things you can do, you just don't know them, and I do.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you entirely, and that's exactly why I get up in the morning and talk about the Constitution, study the Constitution. You'd love one of the books that I've just got. It's over 300 years old, and it's an original. And then when you it gives you the mindset of the person, the Englishman writing the book, and then you can explain it to people, and people are like, wow, And I say, so why have we gone so far off course? Who has done that to us, apart from the British communists?
Right.
Exactly.
There's a question here. Dr. Glidden, what's the toughest part of trying to help others? And it's just what Graham was alluding to. It's cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Because people have grown up inside of this culture where they think in a particular way about medicine. And everything that they think about medicine is wrong. But getting them to drop those scales from their eyes and, to pull back the curtain, see the man behind the curtain, that's the hardest thing. If I talk to 100 people, 25 people will understand what I'm saying, and 10 people will take action. It's about 10% of the people that I talk to, and I'm really good at explaining this. And I have about a 10% success rate in moving people into action. It's not because, it's just because of the way that people have been socialized.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem, is overcoming people's cognitive dissonance. That's the hardest thing to do. And, that's why I don't care anymore. If I used to really be invested in what percentage of, impact I would have when I talk to people. And I'd stay up at night thinking about, oh my God, only 8 people wanted to do this, and I just talked to 100 people. What's my freaking problem? Well, the problem isn't me. I just don't care about those numbers anymore. I just speak the truth. And if you have ears to hear it, great. If you want to do your own research, you're a freaking idiot. But whatever. It's like that. All I can do is tell people the truth and see who wants to come along for the ride.
Yeah. No, I agree entirely. It was that did you just answer the question? There's a couple of questions I've got on here which I've just noticed. I think you've just answered that one. What's been the toughest part of trying to help others?
Yeah.
Best way to give up smoking, tobacco.
Oh, I
Then
can tell you that. I can tell you that. So
357.
there's, yeah. So here's what you do. You have to go to like an herbal apothecary or a holistic grocery store somewhere, and you need to get licorice root sticks. Licorice root. It's a plant, the licorice plant, right? And the plant grows, it has roots under the ground. And the people that harvest the licorice plant, they pull the plant out of the ground, they clip the licorice away, and they make stuff from it. But then they dry the roots, clean the roots and dry them. And they sell the licorice roots, right? It's a root of a plant that's dried. So you get a handful of the licorice roots, and you want to get the skinniest ones possible. It's kind of like asparagus. The skinny asparagus tastes better than the fat asparagus, right? So you want to get the skinny licorice root. You're going to make sure that, you know, all the dirt is cleaned off of them, and stick them in and cut them so they're the same length as a cigarette, and you stick the licorice roots in your cigarette pack. Okay? So now you've got the cigarette pack on you, and it's filled with licorice roots. Every morning you wake up, you do 2 ounces of the plant-derived minerals, or you do 2 capsules of the minerals if you're in the UK and you've got the capsules instead of the liquid. And then you do 2 capsules in the evening of the plant-derived minerals. We're going to do this for 8 weeks. This is an 8-week program. 2 capsules of the minerals in the morning, 2 capsules of the minerals at night before bed. Every time you feel like smoking, you take a licorice root and you chew it. You chew on it. You know, like people used to chew on, you know, pieces of grass. You chew the licorice root. It tastes delicious, by the way. It helps your adrenal glands to calm down. And I'll talk about that, why that's important in a minute. And the kicker is you get black pepper oil, essential oil of black pepper. And you keep that in your pocket. And every time you want to smoke a cigarette, you put a drop of the black pepper oil in your palm, you rub your palms together, and you inhale the black pepper oil. 3-4 deep breaths of the black pepper oil, and you chew on the licorice root. And you take the minerals in the morning, the minerals in the evening. And if you do that over the course of 8 weeks, you will stop smoking cigarettes, guaranteed. You want to know why you smoke cigarettes? You want to know why people smoke cigarettes? Because tobacco and there's other stuff in the cigarette has a chemical that reduces anxiety. It's anxiolytic. It reduces anxiety. So people smoke cigarettes not because they have a self-destructive thing and they want to give themselves cancer because their mother was an alcoholic and didn't hug them enough. It's not that reason. People smoke cigarettes because they're anxious. And the cigarette takes the edge off of the anxiety, period. Why are people anxious? Because life sucks. It does. And if your body is under-nutrified, the stress of life will make you anxious. Remember, people break at their weakest link. Some people, the stress of life, they can't handle it, they get anxious. Some people get back problems. Some people get stomach ulcers. I don't know. It just is the way that it is. But anxiety is driven by nutrient deficiencies on top of the stress of life. So you do the foundation pack, you take all 90 essential nutrients on a regular basis, you stop eating the food that's hurting you, and you do this 8-week program, and you'll never look at another cigarette ever again.
I've got another 2 here. I'll read them both out and see if you can cover them off. Well, this is from Ace Jace. What is good for hypertension or high blood pressure? And the other one is, do you know a way to detox an infant from the COVID vaccine? And I've actually got something here. It is called NAC.
Yeah, no, NAC won't do that. N-acetyl L-cysteine, that won't do it. I have a colleague in the U.S. that was raided by the Food and Drug Administration because he developed an antidote to the COVID vax. His name is Monzo, M-O-N-Z-O. He has a website, drmonzo.com, drmonzo.com. Go to the shop button at drmonzo.com. I should probably type it into the chat box here. And you want to find the product called, what's the name of the product? I think the product is called CVA drops. Hold on. Yeah, drmonzo.com. Go to the shop button. Go to ATB products, Alpha Tango Bravo products, and then find CVA drops, Charlie Victor Alpha, CVA drops, CVA imprint drops. Give the child 1 drop a day until the bottle's empty. 1 drop orally a day until the bottle's empty. That's how I would handle the COVID bullshit, which people should go to jail for, quite frankly, but they never will. The first thing to consider with hypertension is it's a calcium and a magnesium deficiency, period. Your body has run out of calcium and magnesium, and because of that, your blood pressure is going up. So we take the 90 essential nutrients, we eliminate the 12 bad foods, and we do extra calcium and magnesium. And by the way, a more in-depth answer to all of your questions is found on my website behind the paywall for the subscription. And if you use the discount code Graham with a capital G, you get 25% off the cost of a subscription. And that's pretty good, right?
That makes me
But all these questions, all the questions that you have they've already been asked and answered 1,000 times, and they're on the website. And plus, for my subscribers, I do 2 hours of live Q&A every week.
Yep.
So
it's on the screen is the site that you need to go to, and it's CVA drops, ABT products, CVA drops.
Yeah.
But just to let you know, something you just said there, a guy called Rupert Lowe, who is leading a political party called Restore Britain, has stated that when they win the election, anyone that lost their jobs because of COVID and COVID lockdowns or being coerced into having a jab, he has said, not only are we going to compensate those people, we are going to prosecute everyone who is involved with it.
Well, he's going to probably wind up in the river in the middle of the night, face down.
Well, I've said that a few times. They've already took his guns. Well, they took his guns. They've now given them back. And it was another guy called Nigel Farage that made up a load of lies about him that got his guns taken away.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it is disgusting, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. If someone has a question, can you get off of thyroid meds? I've seen it happen. It's not easy, but yeah, you can do it. You have to really be dedicated, and in that case, you do need a private appointment with someone like me. You can't just get off your thyroid meds by following my generic information. You need to regular follow-ups with someone like me in order to gauge what's happening, because otherwise, you could be unnecessarily suffering. But yeah, you can do it. The body has a remarkable ability to fix itself. We should at least try to do it. Maybe we'll be successful. It's worth the old college try.
Yeah.
Somebody said here they take magnesia phosphorica. That's a good idea, but you're down 89 essential nutrients. It's one nutrient. There are 90 essential nutrients that the body needs. 90. You got to get that through your head. You got to take all 90 if you want to be all that you can be, right?
I agree entirely. The essential 90 is in fluid form in my fridge, and I will be drinking some tonight.
Yeah, well, I just finished mine.
Yeah, I haven't
oh,
got
Graham, the old clock on the wall says I have to leave. Regretfully, I have a consult in 8 minutes.
No problem. I am very grateful that you've come along and given me an explanation of what's going on with my back and many other things. But we hope to see you again in a month's time on the first Monday.
I am at your beck and call. Just let me know when you'd like me back. I'm planning on being here once a month. I'm happy to do it because you and I are twin sons of different mothers, right?
I agree. Be lucky, my friend, and thank you for
Live
coming
long,
on in. Well done.
live long and prosper. Thank you. Bye.
So there you have it, right? Dr. Glidden has got his own Rumble channel. If you go to that website, which I will show again, right? Let me see if I can bring it up on there again. I'm not just saying it. I absolutely do trust Dr. Glidden. He's got literally 37 years worth of experience. He is also a medical doctor as well as a naturopathic doctor, and he does all this other stuff in the background. He is exceptionally good at what he does. And I studied him, and I also studied his body language. And you get a feeling about someone, and I can tell you now, he is one of the best out there. Just to making sure that everyone knows that. So everyone's got the information that you need. So I just want to make sure everyone's got it. I do want to bring this up with you before I do anything else. Let me stop sharing that. And I don't want to be sitting too long tonight because, for obvious reasons, I'm going to top that camera again. But we have our English Constitution Society. And if you want me to bring that up a bit more on the screen, I will. I'm not sure if that's actually going to come up any further, but it's on the screen, so you should be able to stop it and look. English Constitutional and Common Law Seminar. Discover your inalienable rights and constitutional rights, what they are, why they matter, and how the state is working to take them away. Find out what you can do to protect your freedoms before it's too late. Everyone welcome, 7 p.m. Tuesday, April the 2026 at Keystoke Village Hall, Crooks Lane, Keystoke, Weston-super-Mare, BS22. That is Bravo Sierra 22, 9 X-Ray Juliet. £10 on the door. It's a donation. If you don't want to give me anything, don't give us anything. But we can't go all around the country doing this unless people. You can donate more if you want. You can, and if you haven't got any money, but you are interested, come along. Right? No one's going to kick you out for not paying on the door. All right. But we do need money for petrol. Some of these places, I have to stay overnight. I have to do different things. The petrol, obviously. And again, these are local events. So if you want to create one locally to you, please do. I've gone Devon. This one's in Somerset, Cumbria, Norfolk, Lincoln, Essex, Hertfordshire. Just keep them coming in. But what we're going to do is expand this. There is going to be a book. There is going to be a 2-year minimum training course. When I say 2-year minimum, it's going to be online. You will have to pay for it. But you will have a proper education on the English Constitution and the common law and constitutional rights that the English possess as rights. So the English have rights. The British have rules. We are not British. We are English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish, Southern Irish, and Cornish, right? And once you remember that if you allow the legal fiction of British created by a Fabian Parliament in 1948 to be attached to you, then you are relinquishing your rights as an Englishman, as a Scotsman, as a Welshman, as an Irishman, and a Cornishman. And that is what you should be absolutely rejecting. So there you go to everyone out there. Don't forget, we want as many people as possible to contact Tucker Carlson, where I will present to Tucker Carlson England, the English, the Protestant settlement, and we'll be explaining things. I think I would be a breath of fresh air on his show. I know that people want to see that happen, but it is for you, the audience, to email him and say, please get Graham Moore on, right? and it will be the English Constitution Society. I am in support of Restore Britain, because Restore Britain means restore England, and means restore the English Constitution. That's it, right? So again, everyone, and again, you're never going to agree with someone entirely. I'm not looking for that. If you're 70% there, I'm happy with it. I think Rupert Lowe is 80% there. The only thing that worries me is who counsels him, right? In terms of who them people are. That's it. So I am going to say good night, God bless to everyone. I'm going to say, don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. Happy Easter. Hope you've enjoyed your bank holiday Monday. I am grateful for the audience. Don't forget, tomorrow night won't be live because I'll be doing an English Constitution seminar, but I will upload that seminar with the Somerset flag. So if you want to know what the flags look like, this is how they work. Somerset, because your community is first. The coat of arms of your family is first. Family is first. Somerset, your community, as a shire or a county in that case. Then the English flag. I prefer the original English flag, the Whiffen, but the English flag, meaning George's flag. There's a story around that which I won't go into. And then, if you really must, the Union flag. But the least important of all of those flags is the Union flag, right? What's really important is your family, God, right? Your local community, meaning your shire or county, your country, which is England in our case, Scotland if you're Scottish, Welsh if you're Welsh. And if anyone says to me that my mum is Irish and my dad is Scottish, that makes me British. No, it doesn't. What makes you British is the British Nationality Act of 1948, right? If you are born and living in this country, you are a Briton, but by the grace of God, you are English. And that's what you got to remember. That's it. Good night. God bless to everyone. And I will see you Wednesday night live as usual. Tiddly poo, au revoir, and see you all later.